Welcome everyone to the National and Council Awards Adult Recognition Tutorial. This tutorial is designed to assist you in the process of nominating deserving volunteers and staff for council and national level recognitions this year. All nominations are due by June 30th. Let's find out more. During this tutorial, you will learn where to access recognition information, how to determine which award is the best fit for your candidate, our new streamlined process, the nomination process, tips for completing nomination forms and letters of endorsement, the selection process, the appeals process, and how awards are presented. Everything you need to nominate a volunteer for an award is on our council website at girlscoutsnorcal.org. Just click on Volunteers and then scroll down to Recognitions. There are two types of awards, National and Council Awards and Service Unit Awards. This training will focus on the National and Council Awards. When you access the National and Council Awards webpage, you will find background information as well as the nomination process, the list of awards, and in the right-hand side you will find all the resources that are available to you, including the recognition booklet, the awards at a glance, and where to place awards on the adult uniform. Okay, so you're ready to nominate someone for an award. You have the perfect person in mind. Their time and dedication to Girl Scouts has really paid off. They've gone above and beyond their efforts in their volunteer role, and you want to make sure that they are awarded and appreciated. But what awards have they already received? Well, the best place to look is the past awardee list. You can click on this and look up your specific volunteer's name and find out exactly what awards they've already received. Once you have that information, the next step is to look at our list of awards to find out just the right award that fits your volunteer. There are two ways you can do this. The first is to click on the Awards at a Glance. When you access the Adult Recognitions at a Glance, you will see that there is two types of awards. The first is the GSUSA National Awards, which include the Appreciation Pin, Honor Pin, Thanks Badge 2, and the President's Award. You will also notice the criteria listed for each award. Pay close attention to the criteria because you'll want to make sure your candidate fits the criteria for the award that you want to nominate them for. You'll also want to pay close attention to the number of endorsements that are required for each award. The Appreciation Pin, for example, requires 2 signatures on an endorsement letter, while the Thanks Badge requires 4. The deadline for all submissions is June 30th. All submissions are sent to the Recognition Task Group for approval and then on to the Board of Directors for final approval. It's a bit of a Girl Scout myth that the national awards are to be earned sequentially. Once you have the Appreciation Pin, then next you earn the Honor Pin, etc. Instead, the different awards are for different levels of service and areas of geography served. Notice that the Thanks Badge 2 criteria lists that the person must have previously received the Thanks Badge to be considered for the Thanks 2. The other national awards do not, so a person doesn't need to have previously received the Appreciation Pin to be considered for the Honor Pin, for example. In addition to the national awards, we also offer council awards through Girl Scouts of Northern California. These awards include the Alliance Award, the Chris Arkley Significant Impact Award, the Dennis Chu Outstanding Fundraiser Award, the Heritage Award, the Phyllis Jones Amistad Award, the Maud Whalen Continued Exceptional Service Award, the Eleanor L. Thomas Exemplary Leadership Award, the Ruth Robertson Commitment to Excellence Award, and the Circle of Empowerment Award. Another way you can review the award criteria is straight on our website. You simply need to scroll down where you'll see all of the awards listed. You'll see that the deadline for all National and GS NorCal awards are due on June 30th of every year. The national awards are listed first, just like we just showed. The Appreciation Pin, the Honor Pin, everything is listed. The award criteria and the required number of signatures on an endorsement letter are listed for each award. You can scroll through the GSUSA awards and then you can scroll through the Girl Scouts of Northern California Council approved awards. We have good news. We have made some changes to the nomination process, and we think you'll like them. Nomination forms and letters of endorsement are now completed and submitted online to make it simple and easy for you. All that is required is one person to complete and submit the nomination form and another person to complete and submit the letter of endorsement with the required number of endorsers for the award. The person who completes and submits the letter of endorsement will enter the names and contact information for all additional endorsers. When you're ready to nominate someone, simply scroll down on the recognitions page to find the award that you want to nominate the person for. Let's take the Thanks Badge for example. If I were to nominate someone for the Thanks Badge, I would click on Nominated Individual for the Thanks Badge. This will take you to the online submittable form for the Thanks Badge. Each award has its own nomination form, so make sure you choose the correct one. You will then enter the name of the nominee and the nominee's contact information, as well as the current position held by the nominee. You will then be asked if the nominee is a current member of Girl Scouts and if they have an approved screening application on file, both of which are required for all awards. You will then see a description of the award, the criteria for the award, and an example of a typical nominee. You will then see the required letters of endorsement, and remember this is the Thanks Badge, so there are 4 letters of endorsement that are required, and you will simply need to provide the name and contact information for the 4 people who will agree to the letter of endorsement. This next section is the most important. This is where you will provide all the detailed information about how the candidate met the criteria for the award. Be very specific and very detailed and provide as much information as possible and really speak to the point on how the volunteer met the criteria. You will then provide your name, your contact information, you will enter the security CAPTCHA, and then you will submit. Submitting a letter of endorsement can be done the same way as the nomination form. Right on our recognitions page, simply find the award that you want to submit a letter of endorsement for and click Submit a Letter of Endorsement for a Nominee. Remember that the same person cannot submit both a nomination form and a letter of endorsement for the same candidate. It must be 2 separate people. If you will be the person writing the letter of endorsement, you will enter your name, the best way for us to contact you, and your relationship to the nominee. You will then enter the nominee's name, the award for which you are writing the letter of endorsement, and the nominee's contact information. Then you will write in very detailed specific information on how the candidate meets the criteria for the award. You'll want to make sure this information is additional information than what the nominator wrote. Don't copy the same information. This is where you tell your compelling story on how the nominee has gone above and beyond and how they've met the criteria for the award. Then you will provide the names of additional people who will agree to the letter of endorsement. You only need the number that is required for each award. So the Thanks Badge needed 4 names and contact information. The Appreciation Pin needed 2. You'll want to make sure that you either look at the awards at a glance or the requirements for each award and only provide the names and contact information for the endorsers that are required. Then you'll enter the security CAPTCHA and submit your letter of endorsement. We recommend that you download the recognition booklet before you get started. The adult recognition booklet is full of great information to help you with the recognition process. There is a nominator checklist on page 3, as well as letter of endorsement tips on page 4, and how to rate a strong nomination on page 5. Let's take a quick look at that. Page 3 has the nominator checklist. So if you're nominating someone for an award, you should go through this checklist and make sure that you have done all the steps and that the candidate meets the criteria for the award. Then on page 4, if you're the person writing the letter of endorsement, there are do's and don'ts. We strongly recommend that if you are a nominator, that you refer the person who will write the letter of endorsement to this page so that they know how to write a strong letter of endorsement. If you are the person writing a nomination, there are some great tips here on how to write a strong nomination and how to revise a statement and how to provide more detailed information so that you really have a strong nomination for your candidate. After the completed forms are submitted, they will be reviewed by a council-wide recognitions task group made up of volunteers from around the council. The task group reads the nomination form and endorsement letter. They will then ask themselves whether or not the person's service meets the criteria for the award. As soon as the task group has made their recommendations, the nominator will receive an email notification of their decision to approve or deny the award or to recommend a different award. If the Adult Recognition Task Group determines that a nomination does not meet the criteria for the award, they may decide to either approve the nomination for a different award category or deny the nomination. If a nomination is denied or a change in award is made, the nominator will be notified within 5 business days of the vote. At that time, information will be shared as to what is needed to make a stronger nomination. Nominators may then follow the appeals process if they feel that the nomination was not approved or the award category was changed in error. You can review the whole appeals process on page 11 of the recognition booklet. Girl Scouts of Northern California will organize an awards ceremony for all approved nominees. Awards will be presented in each of the 5 areas of our council. Depending on your area, the awards are either presented in the fall or the spring. Check the Recognitions webpage for the dates and locations of upcoming award ceremonies in your area. If you have questions about the recognitions or the recognition process, your Volunteer Resources Director for your area will be happy to assist you. Just go to the recognitions page on our website, look for your area, and you'll find the name, the email, and the phone number of the Volunteer Resources Director who can help you. Thank you for taking the time to complete this tutorial and for taking the time to help recognize your hard-working volunteers. Volunteers are the lifeblood of our organization, and we want to make sure we appreciate and acknowledge the efforts put forth by our volunteers. Thank you for your part to nominate the deserving volunteers in your area. Remember, you can nominate or endorse letters for as many volunteers or staff in your area that you wish. Just make sure that one person completes the nomination form and a different person completes the letter of endorsement. Thank you for all you do for Girl Scouting.